Another month and another chapter of Berserk. If this keeps up, we're actually going to have another volume of Berserk finally come out. Volume 38. I'd love to have another volume of Berserk in my collection. So, I'm just going to say right now, this chapter is the embodiment of hype. For one specific reason. That final panel of this chapter implies that we're finally getting back to Guts. He might finally get off that damn boat. Fuck yeah. I think we all, right now, I think we love this chapter, but when it comes to the final part of the chapter, it's the perfect segue to go into Guts. Just to give us more Guts and find out what's going on with his group right now. I can't wait. Next chapter is going to be so fucking good. Oh my god. Oh, so hyped for next month's chapter just to see my boy Guts again with an updated chapter. Oh my god. It's been forever. It's been a long time since I've seen Guts in, like, new content, like something new. I've reread my Berserk volumes constantly just because I miss Guts so much and to see how he might be coming back. Oh yes, because this is the perfect way to just flip over to Guts' perspective because of the way this chapter ended. So anyways, chapter 341, I think that's what this chapter is. So yeah, whatever chapter it is, we are back with another chapter, but this time we only have 20 pages, which, you know what, I'm fine with. I think we can all agree that we'd rather have something come out than nothing. Do we want, you know, a hiatus again for a year, a couple of years? I mean, do we want something like that? I don't think we do. So, when it comes to just 20 pages a month, fine. Just do it. Just do it. Just give me my quality Berserk, and I'm fine with it. So, the content we got this month of Berserk, and once again focuses on Rickert and his group and what's going on with him, and it concludes it where they start to go on their travel. Getting back to what was going on, though, with Roxas and how he was fighting or how he was acting in this chapter is pretty damn weird. Like, you have these snakes and then these rats pop up, thanks to Debunked, of course, but they pop up and Roxas doesn't even, like, really fight back. Like, he's just distracted, like, oh, there's snakes and stuff on me. Just the way he reacts to that entire ordeal, very weird. Very, very weird. I mean, he's displayed weird tendencies in these past couple of chapters, especially with his mask, to his different faces and stuff, but now seeing this, just a little bit weird. But Daiba, I'm so glad that he is going to be used, and he's not just going to be off-screen, but, I mean, this is Berserk, and we do know Kentaro, he loves using his side characters. That's what really drives Berserk, is the characters, and to see Daiba getting used, it's not really any surprise, but I'm glad, though, he is getting used, and he's going to be going on the travels with Rickert, because they're going to be having their own mage, their own wizard or spellcaster helping them out, because, I mean, if you think about it, Shirake from, you know, Guts' group, she's helping them out, and then seeing how this dude, you know, Daiba is going to be helping them out, they have their own spellcaster that's able to help them out in dire situations, because think about this, they're going out in the world, and as we know, the world has changed, the entire world has changed, it's no longer the same world that we saw at the beginning parts of Berserk, it's like a fantasy world now, and so seeing this, it's dangerous, so you need to have some form of spellcaster that's able to manipulate monsters or demons, or be able to, at the very least, protect you in some way. So, this is very good. Rickert and his group needed Daiba to even join. I mean, it would almost been next to impossible probably even get to where he wanted to go without some form of death or loss of life. Because, you know, there's all sorts of things out there. Goblins, demons, dragons. I mean, all sorts of crazy shits out there. So, this is good to see what Daiba is doing. But besides that, though, we also have it to where there's one thing that's confirmed with this chapter, and I don't know how many is going to notice this or not, because it's something you might not really pay attention to at first glance reading this chapter. I reread the chapter a second time around, and then it dawned on me what was in the background of a panel. I'm like, oh shit! Like when we saw Griffith at the end of the chapter. So, I'm just going to point this out. I know there's a big fan theory, and I remember mentioning it in my volume reviews. Like, when I was doing my volume reviews of Berserk, I remember so many of you Chibits telling me about this theory. It was a very big ongoing theory at the time, and it was still an ongoing theory until this chapter. This chapter concludes and ends a theory. You remember the Moonlight Child Fury? That everybody's thinking that the Moonlight Child that visits, Guts and Casca, that was probably Griffith. I know there's many thinking that was, Griffith. That was transforming on a full moon. Because, the child only kind of appeared on that time. Thinking about it like that, look at the perspective at the end of the chapter, go to the final panel, like the final panels of this chapter, you'll see Griffith looking off in the distance at Rickert. But look behind Rickert and his group, and you see this giant-ass full moon. Now, think about this for a second. This full moon is taking place at the same time where Guts and his group is at right now, with the Moonlight Child. Now, if you put that into perspective and think about it, that would mean that Griffith is not the Moonlight Child. That's what this confirms here, because the full moon's out, Griffith's there staring off at Rickert. And that's done. So yeah, that Fury is completely busted now, unless Griffith splits his body up and he goes into different type of forms on a full moon, maybe. But for now, that Fury has been busted, so I wanted to clarify that because of the full moon in this chapter. Besides that, however, I think that is about it. I mean, the chapter does show that Griffith was paying attention to this entire battle, and he was watching what was happening to Rickert, and it makes me question what Griffith's entire game is here. I mean, we know Griffith, he's fine with probably sacrificing people. He's completely fine with that. We know what type of character he is. I mean, look what he did in the Eclipse. So, sacrifice is not beyond him. So, yeah. How hyped are all of you for next month's chapter of Berserk? Because we do know that Guts most likely is going to be coming back. And yeah, quite the good chapter of Berserk this month. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.